What's the difference? Wet versus dry hair rendering. Imagine trying to capture a person's hair in a digital painting. Do you paint it as if it's soaked and shiny or fluffy and matte? The way you render wet versus dry hair makes a huge difference in how realistic your artwork looks. Let's explore what sets these two apart. When you think about dry hair, picture hair that has plenty of volume and individual strands that seem to float apart. Light hits dry hair in many directions because the surface is rough and uneven. This causes soft highlights and shadows that blend smoothly, giving a sense of texture and fullness. Artists often use brushes with soft edges and varied opacity to mimic this scattering of light. They focus on capturing the subtle differences in tone to show the hair's softness and movement. Now, wet hair is a different story. Water pulls the hair together, making it appear flatter and more compact. The surface becomes smoother and more reflective because water acts like a mirror. This means highlights are sharper and more concentrated, often forming linear streaks along the clumped strands. When painting wet hair, you want to use harder-edged brushes to emphasize these strong reflections. Adding small details like water droplets or streaks can boost the realism and show the wetness more convincingly. Light behavior changes a lot between wet and dry hair. Dry hair reflects light in a diffuse way, creating a broad range of softer highlights and midtones. Wet hair, on the other hand, reflects light more like a shiny surface, with brighter, sharper highlights that stand out. This contrast makes wet hair look slick and glossy, while dry hair appears more voluminous and textured. Color choices also differ. For dry hair, artists use a wider range of midtones and shadows to show depth and texture. Blending these smoothly helps create a natural, fluffy look. Wet hair requires more contrast. Shadows are darker and highlights are brighter to emphasize the glossy, slick appearance. This contrast helps viewers instantly recognize the wet state. Texture plays a role too. Dry hair is rendered with individual strands or small groups, showing softness and movement. Wet hair is often painted with smooth, blended edges, focusing on clumps and streaks. Adding tiny water droplets or streaks can make the scene more believable, especially when illustrating rain or sweat. In digital painting, the brushes you choose matter a lot. For dry hair, soft blending brushes with varied opacity work well to create volume. For wet hair, sharper, harder-edged brushes with bright highlights help mimic the reflective surface. Adjusting layer modes or opacity can also simulate the transparency and glossiness of water on hair. Context is key. Rendering wet hair is essential for scenes involving rain, swimming, or sweating, where the hair clumps and shines differently. Dry hair suits everyday scenes, where hair looks fluffy and full of volume. Knowing these differences helps you pick the right techniques and tools to make your digital art look convincing. So the main difference is how the hair's volume, texture, and light reflection change when wet. Wet hair appears flatter, shinier, with stronger highlights. Dry hair looks more voluminous with softer light transitions. Understanding this helps you choose the right brushes, values, and effects to make your digital hair look just right in any scene.